So the other movies are called The Expendables 1, 2, 3. This one gets rid of the and adds a number. So expend four bowls, expend four bowls, four bowls, four bowls. Chase Liaki here with the Blue Futon, reviewing Expendables for our Expend4bles. So what's this about? Pretty simple premise. I think we are 10 years after Expendables 3, and now we have Sylvester Stallone. We still have Randy Couture. We have Dolph Lundgren still. We have now 50 Cent. We have Megan Fox. We have Tony Jaa. We have Andy Garcia and others in this film. While you're like, okay, that's not a bad cast, you kind of have to go with that route because when you look at number 1, number 2, number 3, which I just watched, is like stacked after stacked after stacked. Just because 3 is freaking stacked. And then this one you go, it's just stacked. But it's a fun movie with major glaring flaws. So when we talk about the positives, overall, I'm a huge Sylvester Stallone fan. I'm a huge fan of 80s films. I'm a huge fan of Rambo, Commando, all those type of films. So this has a nice little shelf in my heart. And number 1, 2, 3, like I said, just watched it. I think a lot of people don't give 3 enough credit. And when you look at the cast of that one, oh my God. Like rewatch it, you go, fantastic. And Antonio Banderas does steal that movie. And they do connect it somehow with that character. And I'm glad they actually did that because they saw, you know what? Antonio Banderas was the star in the third one. So we're going to connect it somehow in the fourth one. And I'm really glad they did. But when looking at this movie, like I said, I do think people had a good time on set. 50 Cent, Statham, Stallone. Fox, to me, she was probably the most miscast person and didn't need to be in this movie as much as some other characters. I'm just going to throw it right there. And there is some glaring flaws when you have the raid crew and Tony Jaa in this movie and you don't utilize them to their full potential. But this movie is a fun little Expendables movie through and throughout. You know what you're going into. You know you're going to get nonstop action. This truly is nonstop action from start to finish. So if you want that, you're really going to enjoy yourself. This is to shut off your brain, have a good time, have popcorn, and watch those seats move. And they did move in the 4DXers. A lot of water, not because a lot of ocean stuff. No, they threw water in your face to, have the blood effect. And I thought that was actually unique to do it and was fun. I don't know. The 4D experience, I think, just makes my movie going experience a lot better because you're around people having fun with the seats moving. So you're like, they're having fun. I'm having fun. It's hard not to have fun watching these type of films. And I do think the comedy does work. A lot of good one-liners as well as just, good chemistry with some of this cast members overall. But what I'm going to say with this is the same director that has done some interesting films like Need for Speed, which is a very, very down-to-earth anti-CGI movie. However, his last 2 movies was Hidden Strike with Jackie Chan and John Cena, and now we have this Expendables movie, which is another one that the Hidden Strike was Chinese funded. This one kind of feels like it was Chinese funded by the look of the explosions. I don't know what it is with Chinese funded explosions versus US funded explosions. The US ones just look way, way freaking better. Maybe I'm smoking cooked crack and it's not produced by the Chinese, but I really think it is. But I'm completely wrong because looking at the director and what some of this film actually looks like. And that's the biggest flaw is the CGI green screen. And I think the director / editor not knowing what to use for his actors. So let's start with this green screen and CGI. Like I said, I just rewatched 1, 2, and 3. Number 1, Sylvester Stallone used barely any CGI. Number 2 and number 3, yes, there was CGI here and there, but it felt nitty and gritty like they were in a town, which they were. If you watch the special features of the third one, directed by Patrick Hughes, they found this huge town, I believe in Bulgaria, and they just used the overall surroundings. So you're like, oh shit, this is real. This feels like they are in a town. This one, it is no joke, almost 50% on a ship, and the other 50% is like or 25% maybe in Libya, the other 25% in random warehouses overall. I think having it on the ship is a somewhat fun idea, but the look of the movie felt very cheap and unfortunately took a lot of people out of the movie when you look at it that way. When you have Jason Statham up close in the background, is not good green screen, not good CGI. Yes, there are some fun motorcycle elements that you could tell that wasn't CGI, but when we're going to the vast landscape, you're like, oh no, this looks bad. Especially the very beginning of Libya where they have a plane scene and you're like, oh no, this is not good whatsoever. However, they do a good switcheroo overall with something that happens in the first act and the third act. And I think that's a really, really strong thing because I was like, oh shit, they're going there. And they kind of do go there. Unfortunately, also, when you watch the third movie and this one, you think they should at least brought a couple people back from the third one. Because when you think about it, you have Kelsey Grammer, you had, Mel Gibson, you had the four, the Twilight Boy, I'm going to call him the Twilight Boy, Glenn Powell, Ronda Rousey, the boxer, Ortiz, Kelsey Grammer, if I already said Kelsey Grammer, like I said, Antonio Banderas, you had, Mel Gibson, or sorry, not Mel Gibson, I already said Mel Gibson, Bruce Willis, which of course you can't use him anymore, Arnold Schwarzenegger. You could have brought Chuck Norris. You could have brought back Jet Li. I understand Jet Li wouldn't have worked, but this has the environment to bring Jet Li back. However, understanding they're not bringing Jet Li back, they bring the Raid crew as well as Tony Jaa. Okay, Tony Jaa, you need to use him. You need to use this Raid crew. Watch the Raid. Watch the Raid 2. Watch even Fast 7 with Tony Jaa. The Protector. Ong Bak. Use those movies and you realize these directors that did those movies, they basically have a camera set and they're not moving the camera and they're having Tony Jaa choreograph. They're having Tony Jaa do everything in frame without editing. Here, unfortunately, they decide to do a lot of jump cuts and you're just like, no, 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 no. Take some John Wick-esque Donnie Yen, take some Protector style of filmmaking, and if you're on the boat, have the camera here, have one of the Raid guys here, Tony Jaa here, and the other Asian chick from China. Have them fight and don't move the camera. Yes, you can have some maybe like inverse camera so you're getting both sides and having scope or having a slow pan, but you do not need to do these jump cut edits when you have these fantastic people on screen. It is like, what are you doing? It is very disappointing. But does that take me out of the movie for having a little bit of fun with this movie? No, I did have fun with this movie. Jason Statham is mostly the star of this film. He really carries this movie. I do like a lot of the people in this movie. The Megan Fox casting was a little bit off overall. I understand why they did it, but she just felt out of place. 50 Cent does a good job overall as well. Some of the gun placement as well as gun etiquette was a little bit sloppy in this movie. Like I said, it just felt like a cheaper version of the first three Expendables. I do think the first and second one are way more superior. Then it goes to the third one. Even though when you rewatch the third one, I just rewatched the unrated one. The action set pieces are top-notch tier, and they are as realistic as possible. Here, the CGI, the green screen did take me out, but I still have a soft spot for these type of movies. So Expendables 4 will receive a 3 out of 5 with Futons, which goes at 60%. Let's see the Critics' News scores gave this one. Damn, critics a 14% with 44 reviews, no critic consensus, and no audience score. Pretty sure you're going to get an audience score when I, edit this movie, because I'm pretty sure this is going to come out on a Saturday. So I did film this a Thursday night. I'm curious of what these negative reviews really are. They like horrible? We have, what a load of crap, 1 out of 5, a 1 out of 4, a 2 out of 5, a 1 out of 4, a 3 out of 10. Yeah, some people, a 1 out of 10. Okay, 1 out of 10, really, dude? Now this Andrew Parker, he probably was like gushing complete splooge probably all over Barbie. But I could be wrong. I'm going to Barbie. Let's see what he gives Barbie. An 8 out of 10. Yeah, he splooged over Barbie. So, some people like that. It's like, this is a movie where you turn off your brain and have fun. And I had fun. I just think a lot of people just need to calm down a little bit and get off their high horse and just get that stick out of their ass. So 1460, Chase Lock with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. On all things Futon Topia, Futon, have a great day. I don't care what you say tomorrow, week, from a month, or a year from now. I love every single freaking one of you. Did you watch Expendables 4? Did you watch it in 4DX? Did you enjoy yourself? I'm a sucker. I did.